So what's next in technology for CAS practices? At Digital CPA, we talked through a lot of different opportunities that exist in this arena. We talked about AI agents, we talked about data infrastructure. There's a lot of things that need to be on your radar as we move forward here in 2025. We are going to explore 3 things that you should be aware of as we move into this new year. Let's dive in. And welcome to another episode of CAS Minute. Today we're in part 4 of 4 on the wrap-up from Digital CPA talking about CAS tech. Today we're talking about what's next. So there are 3 things that I think you should really be paying attention to and potentially start deploying within your firm in 2025. The first of which is the usage of AI agents. So there's a lot of fodder around AI at Digital CPA, a lot of conversation around how do we use it, how do we make it effective, and how do we go beyond just the, hey, can you help me craft an email to my client? That's not really functionally using AI in your practice. When we talk about the usage of AI agents, you're now starting to take this work that's done on a regular basis on your desktop and triaging that redundant work to AI to take action on your part. There are a number of tools and systems and ways that you can accomplish this. However, be on the lookout for a rise in activity from AI agents. A good example of this is actually in the sales development representative space by a company called 11x. 11x has already created these AI SDR agents to help you sell better. So if you can use that as a reference point for how to create AI agents in the accounting space, take a look at some of the tasks that they're doing at 11x. It's a really interesting use case for how it'll start to evolve our practices. The second thing that I think is really important as we move forward, and I've hit on it quite a few times on this podcast, but it's the building of a data infrastructure. Not many firms have an aggregate data set that helps them understand what's happening in their firm on a day-to-day basis. Oftentimes, we're taking data from points in time, we're taking data from different technology stacks, and we're starting to look at those in very disparate locations. Now, when you look forward into the world of Gen AI, context is the most important thing that you can provide it in order to be effective. And so if you have a consolidated data warehouse that sits over the top across all of the different technologies that you use in your firm, now you have a really good starting point to start layering on Gen AI to provide something that's really meaningful. Not only that, if you take the AI agent approach on top of a data set to take actions, you can only imagine the possibilities that exist within that realm of opportunity. So when I think about a data warehouse, I'm not just thinking about things like, oh, what's your margin by client? What's your margin by service? But rather, if you've got CAS, if you've got audit, if you've got tax, and you've got different individuals serving those 3 clients, how are those individuals understanding holistically what's happening to the client, how you're communicating to the client, what feedback from the client looks like, and then what opportunities look to improve their outcomes via cross-selling, upselling, and potentially leveraging new approaches to help serve them better. So if your team is all rowing the same direction with your clients and you have visibility across the spectrum that's permissioned in a really healthy way, that data layer will help you grow more than you can imagine. And yes, growth is somewhat easy to come by today because there is ample opportunity. However, if you're really looking to accelerate and grow your practice, this can be a great way to do that. The last concept that I want to talk about that I think is going to be really critical here in the next few years is the concept of a continual close. Today, I would say 90% of CAS practices are saying, hey, we'll deliver financials 15 days after month end. That is becoming dated very quickly. If you think about the access to information that we have in our personal lives on our phones, the expectation of readily available data through all the systems that we utilize, there really isn't any reason why even accrual accounting should be lagging so much. Yes, I understand that we need to reconcile the statements. Those are coming out post-month end. However, if you can start moving some of those activities up earlier in the month and completing them on a daily, weekly basis through the usage of AI agents, maybe it's a consolidated data warehouse, there are ways that you can expedite the delivery of financials. And so I want to think about how do we move closer towards a continuous close process as an industry, because that will be what allows us to experience that more relational type service to a client that really sets us apart from most of these productized solutions. So, if we think about AI agents, data governance and infrastructure, as well as continuous close, if we can focus on those three things in the upcoming year and start making small steps of improvement in those areas, we will be positioning ourselves really, really well for a successful future for all of us. So that's a wrap on all CAS tech from Digital CPA. In the next episode, we're going to be diving into the CPA.com CAS benchmark survey, which is chock full of lots of interesting information. Stay tuned for that. Till next time.